Hello everyone, and welcome back to our English listening and speaking podcast. I'm Emily and I'm very happy to learn English with you again today.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike. I'm excited to be here with Emily, and I'm excited to practice English with all of you.
We're so glad you joined us. We hope you have a wonderful day, good health, a happy heart, and plenty of energy for everything you want to do.
And we hope you feel more confident every day. Remember, learning English takes time, so be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey.
Today's lesson is called My Daily Routine. We are going to talk about the things we usually do from morning until night.
That sounds useful because I have a daily routine too. Although sometimes my routine is not very organized.
That's completely normal, Mike. Today we'll practice daily activities, the simple present tense, frequency adverbs, telling the time, transportation, and common expressions for everyday life.
And I'm sure I will make a few mistakes today.
Maybe you will, but that's okay. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. We will use them as opportunities to learn something new.
I like that idea. I'm ready to make mistakes and learn from them.
Before we begin, if you enjoy these English lessons, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share the lesson with friends who are learning English.
Your support really helps us. It gives us motivation to continue creating useful English lessons for you.
Thank you so much. Now, let's begin with the morning. Mike, what time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
Good try. We use that with a specific time. Say, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
Excellent. Now the sentence is correct. Notice the difference between at 7 o'clock and in the morning.
So, I can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. That is a very natural sentence. Now, what do you do after you wake up?
After I wake up, I get on my bed and check my phone.
Nice answer, but there is one small mistake. We say get out of bed when we leave the bed, not get on my bed. Say, after I wake up, I get out of bed and check my phone.
After I wake up, I get out of bed and check my phone.
Perfect. Wake up means you stop sleeping. Get out of bed means you physically leave your bed.
I understand. First I wake up, and then I get out of bed.
Exactly. What do you usually do next?
I make my bed, brush my teeth, and wash my face.
Very good. Those are all natural expressions. We say make the bed, not do the bed.
I usually do my bed before breakfast.
Good try. We use make with the bed. Say, I usually make my bed before breakfast.
I usually make my bed before breakfast.
Excellent. Remember, we often say make the bed, make breakfast, and make a cup of coffee.
But we say do homework and do housework, right?
That's right. Do is common for tasks and work. Make is common when we create or prepare something. Now, after you brush your teeth and wash your face, do you take a shower?
Yes. I usually take a shower at the morning.
Almost correct. For parts of the day, we normally say in the morning. So, say, I usually take a shower in the morning.
I usually take a shower in the morning.
Great job. You can also say I have a shower, especially in British English. Both expressions are useful.
After my shower, I get dressed and prepare breakfast.
Good. What do you usually have for breakfast?
I usually have a bread, an egg, and a cup of coffee.
Good try. We usually say some bread, not a bread, because bread is generally uncountable. Say, I usually have some bread, an egg, and a cup of coffee.
I usually have some bread, an egg, and a cup of coffee.
Excellent. Have breakfast is also a very common expression. We usually say I have breakfast at 7, not I eat a breakfast at 7.
So I can say, I have breakfast at 7 o'clock.
Exactly. Now, what does your sister usually do in the morning?
She go to work at 8 o'clock.
Nice answer. There is one small grammar mistake. With she, the verb go becomes goes in the simple present. Say, she goes to work at 8 o'clock.
She goes to work at 8 o'clock.
Perfect. Remember, with he, she, and it, we usually add s or es to the verb in the simple present.
He works, she works, and she goes. I think I've got it.
Great. Now let's talk about leaving home. How do you go to work?
I go to work by my motorbike.
Good try. In English, we usually say by motorbike without my when talking about the type of transportation. You can also say I go to work on my motorbike.
I go to work by motorbike.
Excellent. You can say by bus, by train, by car, or by motorbike. But we say on my motorbike when we mention the specific vehicle.
That makes sense. I go to work by motorbike, and sometimes I go on my motorbike with my brother.
Exactly. Now, what time do you usually leave home?
I usually leave home on 7:30.
Almost correct. We use that with a specific time. Say, I usually leave home at 7:30.
I usually leave home at 7:30.
Excellent. You are getting better with time expressions already. Now let's imagine you arrive at work. What do you usually do first?
I check my emails and talk with my coworkers.
Very good. What do you usually do in the morning?
I always usually drink coffee before I start work.
Nice try. Always and usually are both frequency adverbs, but we normally do not use them together like that. Choose one. You can say, I usually drink coffee before I start work.
I usually drink coffee before I start work.
Excellent. You could also say, I always drink coffee before I start work, if it happens every time.
I understand. Usually means it happens most of the time, while always means it happens every time.
Exactly. We also have sometimes, rarely, and never. Do you usually start work at 8 o'clock?
Yes, I do. I start work at 8 and work until noon.
Very good. Now, what do you do at lunchtime?
I usually have lunch with my coworkers. We talk about our morning and sometimes laugh about funny things.
That sounds nice. What do you usually have for lunch?
I usually have rice, vegetables, meat, and some fruit.
Great. Now I want to ask you about exercise. How often do you exercise?
I exercise 2 times a week.
Good answer. There is a small number mistake. Because you mean 2 occasions, say 2 times a week, or more naturally, twice a week.
I exercise twice a week.
Excellent. Twice a week is a very natural expression. You can also say once a week, 3 times a week, or every day.
I want to exercise every day, but sometimes I am too tired.
That's understandable. A little exercise is better than no exercise, and a healthy routine should fit your life. What do you usually do in the afternoon?
I usually finish my work at 5, and then I go shopping sometimes.
Good sentence. We can make it even more natural by putting sometimes before the main verb. Say, I usually finish my work at 5, and then I sometimes go shopping.
I usually finish my work at 5, and then I sometimes go shopping.
Perfect. Frequency adverbs often come before the main verb. For example, I usually work, I sometimes shop, and I often exercise.
But they come after the verb be, right?
Exactly. We say, I am usually tired, not I usually am tired. What do you usually do after work?
After work, I go home and I take a rest.
Good. That sentence is understandable. A more natural expression is I rest or I take a break. But take a rest is also understandable in some varieties of English.
So I can say, after work, I go home and rest.
Yes, that sounds very natural. Now, do you cook dinner every day?
No, I don't. My wife usually cooks dinner.
Good try. Remember the rule we practiced earlier. With she, the verb needs s. Say, my wife usually cooks dinner.
My wife usually cooks dinner.
Excellent. You remembered the third-person singular rule.
I think the S is following me everywhere today.
It is a friendly little s. It only wants to help your grammar. What do you usually do while you wait for dinner?
I listen music in the living room.
Nice answer, but we need one small word. We say listen to music. The verb listen is followed by to. Say the whole sentence again.
I listen to music in the living room.
Perfect. We say listen to music, listen to the radio, and listen to a podcast.
I listen to English podcasts every morning too.
That is an excellent habit. Now let's talk about dinner. What time do you usually have dinner?
I usually have dinner at 7:30.
Good try. We use it with a specific time. Say, I usually have dinner at 7:30.
I usually have dinner at 7:30.
Excellent. You are becoming an expert with that and time. After dinner, do you usually do housework?
Yes. I usually make the housework after dinner.
Almost correct. We say do housework, not make housework. Remember our do and make rule. Say, I usually do the housework after dinner.
I usually do the housework after dinner.
Excellent. We do housework, but we make dinner.
English has many little rules, but I'm starting to remember them.
And you are doing very well. Now, what do you do after the housework?
I usually watch television, read a book, or listen to music.
Very good. How often do you watch television?
I watch television every night.
Good try. Every is followed by a singular noun. We say every night, not every nights. Say the complete sentence.
I watch television every night.
Perfect. We say every day, every week, every month, and every night. Do you read before bed?
Yes. I usually read for about 20 minutes before I sleep.
That's a wonderful habit. Reading before bed can also be a relaxing way to finish the day. Now, Mike, what do you do before going to bed?
I brush my teeth and prepare my clothes for tomorrow. Then I checking my alarm.
Good answer. There is one small verb mistake. After we use the base form check, not checking. Say, then I check my alarm.
Then I check my alarm.
Excellent. You can also say, I set my alarm, which is very common when you choose the time for the next morning.
Then I set my alarm and prepare for the next day.
Perfect. What time do you usually go to bed?
I usually go bed at 11 o'clock.
Almost correct. We need to after go. Say, I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock.
I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock.
Excellent. That is the complete and natural sentence. Before we review everything, let's practice with our listeners. Listen to Mike and repeat the sentence aloud.
I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
Now it's your turn. Repeat the sentence after Mike. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
I get out of bed, make my bed, and brush my teeth.
Great. Now repeat this sentence aloud. I get out of bed, make my bed, and brush my teeth.
I usually have breakfast at 7:30.
Your turn. Repeat after Mike. I usually have breakfast at 7:30.
I go to work by motorbike.
Now repeat. I go to work by motorbike.
I usually start work at 8 o'clock.
Repeat the sentence aloud. I usually start work at 8 o'clock.
I have lunch with my coworkers.
Your turn. I have lunch with my coworkers.
I exercise twice a week.
Repeat after Mike. I exercise twice a week.
I sometimes go shopping after work.
Now you try. I sometimes go shopping after work.
I usually have dinner at 7:30.
Repeat it aloud. I usually have dinner at 7:30.
I listen to music in the evening.
Your turn. I listen to music in the evening.
I usually do the housework after dinner.
Repeat after Mike. I usually do the housework after dinner.
I watch television every night.
Now you try. I watch television every night.
I prepare my clothes and set my alarm before bed.
Excellent. Repeat the sentence aloud. I prepare my clothes and set my alarm before bed.
I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock.
One more time for practice. I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock. Now let's review some important words and phrases from today. Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's review them.
First, wake up means to stop sleeping. For example, I wake up at 7 o'clock.
Second, get out of bed means to leave your bed after you wake up.
Third, make the bed means to arrange your bed neatly after sleeping.
Fourth, brush my teeth means to clean my teeth with a toothbrush.
Fifth, take a shower means to wash your body under a shower.
Sixth, get dressed means to put on my clothes.
Seventh, have breakfast means to eat your morning meal.
Eighth, go to work means to travel to the place where I work.
Ninth, have lunch means to eat your midday meal.
10th, go shopping means to go somewhere to buy things.
11th, do housework means to clean and take care of things at home.
12th, listen to music means I use my ears to enjoy music. And yes, I remember the word too.
Excellent. 13th, go to bed means to go to your bed when you are ready to sleep.
14th, set my alarm means to choose a time for my alarm to ring.
And 15th, daily routine means the things you usually do each day.
Those phrases are very useful because I can use them to describe my real life.
Exactly. Now let's review the grammar. What tense do we usually use to talk about daily routines?
We usually use the simple present tense.
Correct. For example, I wake up at 7, I go to work at 8, and I have dinner at 7:30.
And with he, she, and it, we usually add s or es. For example, she goes to work, and he watches television.
Excellent. What about frequency adverbs?
We can use always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, and never.
Very good. And remember that frequency adverbs usually come before the main verb. For example, I usually exercise.
But with be, they usually come after the verb. For example, I am usually tired after work.
Perfect. Now let's practice a short conversation about your whole day. I'll ask the questions, and you answer with complete sentences.
Okay. I'm ready.
What time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up at 7 o'clock.
What do you do after you wake up?
I get out of bed, make my bed, brush my teeth, and wash my face.
What do you usually have for breakfast?
I usually have some bread, an egg, and a cup of coffee.
How do you go to work?
I go to work by motorbike.
What time do you start work?
I usually start work at 8 o'clock.
What do you do at lunchtime?
I have lunch with my coworkers, and we usually talk together.
How often do you exercise?
I exercise twice a week.
What do you do after work?
I go home, rest for a while, and sometimes go shopping.
What do you do in the evening?
I have dinner, do the housework, and listen to music. Sometimes I watch television or read a book.
What time do you usually go to bed?
I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock.
Excellent, Mike. That was a clear description of your daily routine, and you made much fewer mistakes this time.
Thank you, Emily. I noticed that I remembered many of the corrections from earlier.
That is real progress. At the beginning, you said in 7 o'clock, but later you correctly said at 7 o'clock.
I also remembered goes, listen to music, do housework, and go to bed.
Exactly. That is why practice is so important. When you hear and say the correct sentence several times, it becomes easier to remember.
I also learned that wake up and get out of bed are different.
Yes. You wake up first, and then you get out of bed. These small differences can make your English much clearer.
Now I want to describe my routine without making any mistakes.
You do not need to be perfect. The goal is to communicate clearly and become more confident step by step.
That makes me feel better. I think I'm less afraid of making mistakes now.
That is wonderful to hear. And now it's your turn, everyone. Think about your own daily routine.
Ask yourself, what time do I wake up? What do I do in the morning? What do I have for breakfast?
Then ask yourself, how do I go to work or school? What do I do at lunchtime? How often do I exercise?
And finally, ask yourself, what do I do in the evening? What time do I go to bed?
Try to answer those questions aloud. You can pause the podcast and practice your own routine. Use simple sentences, and do not worry about making mistakes.
You can even compare your routine with mine. Maybe you wake up earlier than I do, or maybe you go to bed later.
Exactly. Everyone has a different routine. The important thing is to use English to describe your real life.
I think talking about everyday life is one of the easiest ways to practice English.
I agree. When you practice familiar topics, you can focus more on speaking naturally and less on finding difficult ideas.
And if I make a mistake, I can simply correct it and try again.
That's the right attitude. Every mistake can teach you something, and every practice session can make you a little stronger.
Thank you for practicing with me today, Emily. And thank you to everyone who practiced with us.
You're very welcome, Mike. And congratulations to everyone listening. You made it through a full lesson about daily routines.
That is something to be proud of. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep practicing every day.
Remember, you do not have to speak perfect English today. You just need to keep improving little by little.
And remember, making mistakes is normal. Do not be afraid to speak.
Believe in yourself, be patient with yourself, and give yourself time to grow.
If you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Your support means a lot to us. It motivates us to create more useful lessons for listening, speaking, vocabulary, and everyday English.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. We hope you have a wonderful day, stay healthy, stay happy, and have plenty of positive energy.
We hope you feel more confident after this lesson, and we hope you continue practicing English every day.
Take care, everyone. See you in the next lesson.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a peaceful, happy, and productive day.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and never give up.